Hey guys, I have a brand new pick a card reading for you guys today. And today we are asking the question, what makes you lucky? Yes, indeed. We're sending out some lucky kind of vibes because after all, St. Patrick's Day is here and it's kind of a happy-go-lucky type of feeling. So that's what we're going to be looking into today. Before I jump into our pile introductions, really quickly, I just would like to ask you guys to please give this video a big thumbs up because that helps me out a lot right here on the good old YouTube algorithm. Also, drop me a comment down below. Feel free to say hi, don't be shy. Any little comment, of course, helps, even just a simple small emoji, it goes a long way. And if I wind up resonating with you as a reader, I ask you guys to also go ahead and subscribe. And when you do, hit that notification bell because that way then you will be up to date and in the know every time there is a brand new video or any update or live stream or any of that good stuff that may be happening right around here on YouTube. So, yeah. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that stuff. And of course, as always, if you want to learn more about me and who I am, or see what services I currently have available, because I am open and available for your own personal reading, if you're interested in a personal reading. So all of that information is over on my website, shadowandshine.com. Feel free to check that out. You can find all the different ways to connect with me there. Also, I sell oracle decks, so you can find oracle decks available for sale there in case you're interested in expanding possibly your own personal oracle deck collection. So yeah, shadowandshine.com. Readings available, oracle decks available, and of course, so much more. And finally, if you guys are interested in joining my Patreon community, Patreon is open too. So I would love to have you guys join me over on Patreon. It's a really fun and great place. There are card pulls, weekly, daily, all kind of depending on what tier you wind up choosing. So information about Patreon or my website and what's available there, my other socials that I'm on, everything that you need to know is all in the description box down below. So you can check all of that information out there. All the links are there. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that stuff before we officially dive in to our pile introductions. But now that that's all said and done, let's get into the pile introductions, shall we? So we have 4 different groups here, and group number 1, we have a hematite sphere. So yeah, a little tiny hematite sphere for pile number 1. Pile number 2, we have a selenite square. And there's this nice little carving in it. So that is pile number 2. Pile number 3, we have a little round, or I should say oval, shiny, glossed over piece of obsidian with some like gold moon crescents carved in there. Nice little palm stone for holding. So this is pile number 3. And last but not least, pile number 4, we have a little citrine tower. So this one is pile number 4. All right, you guys. So go ahead and choose your pile. You can choose by number, by crystal, just whatever kind of jumps out to you. There is no right or wrong way to do it, of course. You can pick one. You can pick more than one. It is totally up to your choosing. So with all that said and done, let's go ahead and get started here with pile number 1, our hematite sphere group. Hi, pile 1. If you chose the hematite sphere, then this is going to be the reading for you. to find out what makes you lucky. So exciting. All right, we're going to put our little hematite sphere friend right there. And little surprise for you guys here. I know you're probably like, what is this? This is not like a deck of cards. So I do have 2 cards here for you. However, I thought it would be really fun to mix it up for this reading, and I decided to pull out some of these like the Croc shoes, you know, Crocs, some of those like little decorative ornament things that you can put on Crocs. I don't even own a pair of Crocs, but I got a whole batch of these because I thought they would be kind of fun to use as like charms basically in a reading. So we're going to use primarily a lot of these to see what comes through, but I did want to pull a couple of cards for you guys to see what you got. So we have 1 card from the TikTok Tarot and 1 card from the Dog Wisdom Oracle. So your TikTok Tarot card, and these are all major arcana cards from TikTok Tarot. You have the Magician. The Magician. He kind of reminds me of like the Tooth Fairy for some reason. I don't know why, but let's see. Yeah, so you guys have the Magician, and it says here for the Magician, originality, creativity, skill, willpower, self-confidence. Well, those are all very positive traits, I would say. So, I mean, I would definitely consider somebody to be lucky if they were original, if they were creative, if they were confident in themselves. And, like, the really funny thing about the artwork that they have here for their Magician on the TikTok Tarot is he does not look like your traditional magician. You know, he's not wearing a top hat and like a cloak with a magic wand or anything like that. Like I said, for some reason he reminds me of a Tooth Fairy. Maybe that's just my brain. I don't know. Maybe that makes sense to somebody here watching this on YouTube. And I mean, I don't have to understand it. As long as it just like comes out, that's probably all that matters. But he is holding like a little wand. It's like a poofy pink ball at the end of it, and he's got like these little pink wings, and he's got a little pink crown. But he's obviously, like, looking at him, he's not the kind of guy you would think would wear pink. You know, he's got tattoos, he's got like this big belly, he's got like this straggly kind of like graying beard and everything. He looks like he's bald. I don't think he really has any hair. He doesn't look like your typical fairy princess or magician. So I feel like with this card coming through, you may not be like the person people think you are, in a sense. I feel like is what it comes down to. I feel like people may categorize you or stereotype you or try to put you in some kind of specific box, but you don't actually belong in that box. And unless someone really gets to know you, then they get to know this really creative, amazing, awesome human being, that there's so much more depth, that there's so much more beyond what meets the eye, kind of a thing. So it's like you're a little surprise package in a sense. So that's kind of what I'm picking up here with this Magician card. And then with your Dog Wisdom card, you got laziness. Now I know you're probably like, what? Laziness? Like, how is that like a blessing? How is that something to be lucky for? Well, there's a little description on the back. I'm going to go ahead and read that to you guys right now. There is a time and a place for inaction in everyone's life, but you need to make sure that laziness is not preventing you from reaching your goals. Procrastination is a waste of the precious time you have to make your dreams come true. Okay, so this is going to sound weird. and I'm going to try and address this in a way that doesn't come across poorly or badly, because I definitely don't mean it in that way, and I never would mean it in that way. But if we look at these two cards, because these are our only cards that we're working with here, aside from whatever comes through with the charms for you guys. If you look at like the body type of our magician and the body type of this dog, you know, it looks like it's like a maybe a pug or bulldog kind of dog. It's got like that squished in kind of face. He's kind of chubby. This guy's kind of chubby, but they're both chubby and cute. So I feel like for some of you, like your physical, that may be like a descriptor of your physical appearance. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So I'm not like sitting here pointing fingers at anyone saying you're fat, you're overweight, because that's not me. That's not who I am. You know, I think I look at people for who they are on the inside. And, you know, you can be overweight, you can have extra pounds and still be absolutely lovable and amazing and wonderful. And, you know, chubby can be cute. So I feel like that might kind of describe like your physical appearance. And if that's the case, that may explain why some people may actually miss the boat with you and kind of miss an opportunity with you, because they may like automatically write you off as somebody who's lazy, but you're really not. Like, you really have so much more to offer. Like, you're this magician kind of bringing things to life constantly in your life. So that's kind of the vibe that I get from that. But let's pull some charms for you guys. So I have this handy little like fuzzy white rug thing. I'm just gonna move the cards back here a little bit. I don't want them to fall. Stand here so everyone can see how beautiful you are. Okay. All right, so we have our little white rug because I want the charms to kind of fall here. So what I'm going to do now, I know you guys can't see my face, but I'm closing my eyes as I kind of like mix the charms in the tin, and then we're going to just like pick a group up and plop it on to the rug in 3, 2, 1. All right, we got your group. So let's see what we got here. We got several different charms coming through. Okay. All right, so we're going to start off here with mom life. You guys got mom life. So automatically, like, I feel like this is confirmation that you are a mom. You are a mom, whether it is to humans or fur babies, or you're a stepmom, an adopted mom, but you have a motherly role. You definitely have maternal instincts, you're nurturing, and that's a lucky quality to have, you know? I mean, being a mom is a blessing. I mean, I know not everybody wants to be a mom, obviously. I know that there's definitely like the child-free movement that's very big right now. But there is still that group of people who wants to be a mom, who are moms, who love being a mom. I know that there are moms out there who may be out of the house and they're working and raising a family, and they have to do that because of finances, but that may not necessarily be what they prefer to do, that they would probably rather be at home with their kids. But regardless, however this connects for you in your life, I feel like you are definitely a mom, and that's something that's lucky to be, because there are women out there who don't always get the opportunity to become a mom. You know, there's also the wave of people where they're not child-free, but they're childless. And, you know, for whatever reason, life didn't play them the card that they desired, and they didn't get that opportunity to be a mom. You know, maybe they had problems with their health and there were fertility issues, and because of that they couldn't conceive, or maybe they never met the right partner, and because they didn't meet the right person, too much time went by or something, or maybe they were in an abusive relationship or something and then they got out of it, and then by the time they got out of it, maybe it was too late to start a family or something. But these are usually external circumstances, situations, and conditions that happen to people when those things happen. And if you're one of those people where that didn't happen to you and you got to be that mom, that is such a blessing. And I know that there are probably days where it's really hard and you probably feel really underappreciated, but I promise you that you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, and you are valued. And that right there is a reason alone in itself to really be grateful that you have that mom life. All right, so that's all just from the first one. Okay, so kind of piggybacking on mom life, I think this one's interesting. We have a little skull here, and it's like dead, basically. And I know you're probably like, what the heck is that? What does that mean? How is that lucky? Okay, so I feel like this definitely symbolizes tiredness, exhaustion, not like actual death, not like physical death or anything like that. But you know how it is where it's like when you've been running yourself ragged, you're so tired that you feel dead, basically. That you physically, emotionally, mentally, everything can just feel totally drained. I feel like that's what this represents. And that's really common to experience when you are mom, when you are living that mom life, And I feel like, kind of in conjunction to this laziness card, I feel like a lot of times people don't see everything that you do, and they may kind of just like shrug it off as, oh, she's just lazy, especially if you're like fortunate enough to be a stay-at-home mom and maybe you don't really have to work, or you just kind of like do something on the side or part-time or whatever. Maybe you have a partner who kind of like is the breadwinner or whatever. There could be a lot of people who make assumptions about you, and maybe they think that you're lazy and that you don't do anything. It's like, oh, she just sits around all day and watches soap operas and eats bonbons because she's a stay-at-home mom. But you and I both know that's not true, that there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes than anyone could ever see, experience, or imagine. And I feel like that's definitely a misconception that is probably happening in your life. So people don't really know. But you're not lazy. The truth is you're not. You're very busy. And the fact that you've got this exhausted looking skull here is proof of that. You're tired most of the time because, mom life is rewarding, but it's also running you ragged. And when you're that tired, you got Starbucks here. You got a little Frappuccino. And I feel like your life is sponsored by caffeine. It doesn't have to be Starbucks. It could be Dunkin'. It could be Dutch Brothers. It could be a lot of different things. But regardless, I feel like it's caffeine. It is caffeine. And that's what's fueling you. That's what's getting you through your day. And I think anyone can relate to this, even if you're not a mom, just anyone who has worked really hard or run themselves ragged. We can all appreciate some nice, solid caffeine to get us through the day. And I feel like that's something we can all be thankful for that we have in our lives. So yes, having caffeine is a reason to feel lucky. Just like that small little, run to Starbucks or something can feel like just the world to you. Okay, so we have this is an interesting one. We have this little heart here, and he looks sad. He's got one eye. He's a cyclops. I don't know why. But we've got this little heart here. He's frowning, and he's standing on the beach. So I feel like for some of you, you may live in a desirable area. you know, because like if you see the beach there, you, like I said, you may live somewhere that's very desirable, like a vacation destination or a tourist destination, somewhere that people like to go. So you could live on one of the coasts. You could live in like a beachy town, a beachy area. If you don't live in a beachy area, just think somewhere that's like touristy, somewhere that people would go. It could be like a mountain region, a popular city, just anything that, you know, I would say people would envy as a place to want to live. And I mean, if you do live in one of those areas, and of course, if you love where you live, once again, that's a reason to feel lucky. Now, it's interesting that the heart is frowning here. So I feel like a lot of the times you can feel very alone. That you have a very big heart, but your heart is sad. Because once again, I feel like you're very alone in this. I kind of get more so like single mom vibes, more so than like in a relationship. Or if you are in a relationship, it may not be a healthy relationship, and you could just simply feel alone even while you're partnered, because that happens a lot of the times too. But I feel like you have a big heart and you have a lot of love to give, and I know that can feel really painful when you feel so isolated and alone, but the fact that you have such a big heart speaks volumes of your character and who you are and your emotional intelligence and your depth. I feel like it definitely says you're a very empathetic person, and while I know that can feel like a huge burden to carry, it's also a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing, because the truth is there's just not enough people out there who have that level of empathy. And that's the only kind of level of empathy that a mom could have, basically. Okay, so we also have, let's see. Now this is interesting. We have this little bunny rabbit here. It's a bizarre looking bunny rabbit. He doesn't necessarily, like, he's like doing this with his pinky. I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know what that's a symbol for. If you know what that's a symbol for, feel free to let me know. It's not like this. It's not like, you know, hang loose or rock on or something. I don't know what that is. But his mouth expression is interesting. I don't feel like it's necessarily sad, but it's more so shocked. So I feel like with this particular charm, I feel like in a lot of ways, like, it's almost like nothing shocks you anymore. Like, I know he looks kind of shocked, but I feel like nothing shocks you anymore because you've been through so much as it is already. I mean, in some ways that is a good thing, but in other ways, I feel like you need to get ready to be surprised, if anything, for actual good things to be happening, for actual good things to be coming in your life. Let's see. So we have two here that are kind of like the same thing. So we have, I'm gonna put these two together here. So you have two daisies. All right. Oh gosh, I can't even hold on to the daisies. Okay. So we have two little daisies, and this one has, I don't know if you guys can see it, if the camera's like showing it well enough. There we go. It has a little smile on its face. So with these two daisies, now flowers can mean many different things, but I feel like these daisies represent your kids, that you probably have two kids, and each one is your little daisy, each one is your flower. Like, you know, these are the seeds that you planted. These are, like, quite literally, it's like these are the seeds that were planted within you that you gave birth to. You gave birth to these two beautiful little daisies, and you nurture and care for these daisies. You water them, you give them plenty of sunlight. I mean, you know that study that's been out there, you guys, where it's like you can talk to a plant, and it's like you can have two plants, like the same exact type of plant, and you can speak words of hate and horrible things to one, and you can speak words of love and encouragement to the other, and you will see the difference in their growth and development, that the one that is spoken poorly to will wither and die, and the one that is loved up upon will just grow and flourish and thrive. But I know that you guys are doing the second one. You guys are doing all the stuff to make your little daisies grow and flourish and thrive. You're taking good care of them. So I feel like these two represent your little daisies who are springing up in life and who are going to do amazing things and who are going to carry on your legacy and just like grow up to be amazing little people, is what it comes down to. So yeah, that's what I feel like the two daisies are. The two daisies are your kiddos. Which once again, like I said at the very start of this, or the very start of this portion of the reading, being a mom is a blessing. It's a lucky thing to be. All right. So we've got some corn on the cob. Okay, so this is kind of what I get with the corn on the cob. I feel like your sense of humor can be very corny and cheesy. Is what it comes down to. It's like the mom version of dad jokes is what it comes down to. And I feel like that's very cute and that's very endearing. And that may sometimes be something that not everyone gets or understands. Like especially your two little daisies here. When you're being corny and cheesy and like doing mom jokes or whatever, they may like, especially if they're, of a certain age, they're probably rolling their eyes and they're like, oh, my mom, she's so embarrassing or whatever. But, as they grow up, of course, they're going to learn to appreciate those things in you and of you. So yeah, I feel like you're kind of corny, but that's okay. Like it's fun to be corny. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So embrace your inner cheesiness, embrace your inner corniness. Okay, so we have, I don't know if it's like a duck or a chick. It's a little bird. I'm not sure which one it is, duck or a chick. But we got this little birdie regardless. Maybe it's here because Easter's coming up soon too. But anyways, with our little ducky charm coming through, I feel like this ducky chick bird charm represents you. Like this little birdie is what it comes down to, that you're this birdie. And birds are wonderful creatures. I mean, I used to have parakeets and they were always so much fun to watch. They could be so loud and so boisterous with all their chirping and squawking, but they always had the most fun when they'd be taken off, because I would let them outside of the cage, and they would have so much fun taking off and flying around the room or flying around the apartment, whenever they would get the chance to come out and everything. And I mean, can you imagine what that must be like to be a bird in the wild, where you can just like jump off of a tree and just take off and soar? Like, not getting a bird's eye view from an airplane, but getting a bird's eye view because you can fly. Like, I feel like this bird is here as a reminder for you to just spread your wings and fly. Don't stay grounded. You're not a chicken pecking at the ground. You're not a penguin who's meant to just waddle around on the ground. You're meant to take off and you're meant to fly. So don't forget that. Remember to spread those wings and fly. And finally, we have the star emoji here. Like, oh, why did the screen get dark all of a sudden? That was weird. Did you guys notice that? I don't know. Maybe it was just because I was bringing out the star. But you got this star. That's so weird. It still feels dark to me. It's not the ring light. The ring light's fine. Okay. Maybe it's just me. Anyways, the star from Super Mario Brothers. So, I mean, we all know star power in like Super Mario Brothers. It's like, you know, when the star hits Mario, he's unstoppable. He's basically immortal. You can't kill him. He is invincible. He's unstoppable. He can just, you know, fly right on past the bad guys and get to exactly where he needs to go. He can touch them and they can't kill him. And the truth is, you right there. Yeah, you watching this. You are a superstar. You are invincible. You are unstoppable. You can do it. You can conquer your obstacles. You can overcome your adversaries. Sometimes our biggest adversary isn't even another person. It's just our own mental mind frame. It's just the way we see things. But you can do it. And I know you got a lot going on, especially with your two little daisies and the busyness of mom life and the exhaustion that comes with it and everything else. But the truth is, at the end of the day, you have star power. You can do this. You are a star. So please take that and remember that, because you are so lucky that you were born to be a star. Anyway, that's basically what I have for you guys for this pick a card reading in regards to what makes you lucky. And needless to say, if you had any doubts on anything, and if you were feeling very unlucky before this, I really hope that this gave you some reassurance and understanding and knowing that you are beyond words absolutely lucky. So anyways, before we wrap this video on up, you guys, once again, I would just ask you to go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up, because that helps me out a lot here on the YouTube algorithm. And drop me a comment down below. Feel free to say hi, drop me an emoji, you know, whatever floats your boat. I would love to hear from you. And of course, if I resonate with you as a reader, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell. By doing that, of course, you will be up to date and in the know of every reading, every video, every update that comes your way through this channel. So feel free to go ahead and do that. And once again, if you're interested in your own personal reading, head on over to my website, shadowandshine.com. All of my different offerings are right over there, as well as oracle decks that are available for sale. And once again, you guys, please join me over on Patreon. I would love to have you join and be a part of the community over there. You get readings and all kinds of fun perks, all kinds of cool things that simply are not happening here on YouTube or other places. So yeah, feel free to check me out over there on Patreon or on my website, shadowandshine.com. So that's basically what I have for you guys. Happy St. Patrick's Day, of course. I am sending you lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose the selenite square with the carving on it, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what makes you lucky. All right. So exciting, you guys. Pile 1 was so inspiring. I'm excited to dive in for you guys. So we have this over here. I'm sure you're wondering, what the heck is that? So with this particular reading, I decided to mix it up a little bit. So you still have a couple of cards here for your reading, but I also decided to incorporate some charms. So I have these little charm things that go on Crocs, which is funny because I don't actually own any Crocs, but I decided to get these because I thought they would be really fun to incorporate in readings, for charm readings, which is basically what we're doing here. So we're going to go into your 2 cards first, and then we're going to pull some of these guys and find out what makes you lucky. All right, so starting off with our cards, we have the TikTok Tarot and the Dog Wisdom Oracle. So your TikTok Tarot card, which they are all major arcana cards. Wow. I literally have to pull you guys another card. You want to know what you got? You got like the little introduction card. The major arcana, also known as the trumps from their historical origin. The major arcana are considered the most important group of cards in the tarot. To some, they represent universal archetypes. To others, they represent the spiritual quest of enlightenment. It's the information card. I always forget that this is in there because it looks like all the others. So let me grab the deck super quick. I'm just going to roll my chair on over, because I didn't know that it did that, and I always forget to separate it. And I will just pull you guys one, like right here, right now, in a moment. So here's the deck. And let's pull one for you, because you still deserve one. Not just the informative card. And, the dog card is great, of course, but you should have one from the major arcana here. All right, I'm just going to split the deck. So let's see what you guys get. All right. You guys got the death card. And I know that you're probably like, how is that unlucky? Or how is that lucky? It probably freaks you out thinking like, oh my God, that's unlucky. That's not lucky. But let me read to you guys what it says on the card. And we'll get into how death can be lucky. All right, so the death card. It says, transformation, making way for the new, unexpected change, loss, failure. Now, I don't feel like the loss or failure part is necessarily a part of this. People usually don't recognize loss or failure as lucky. However, the transformation part, the making things new part, I feel like that very much so plays a role. So I feel like you're probably someone who has gone through a lot of transformation in your life. It's almost like change is the normal for you, where other people may feel very overwhelmed and very stressed out from large amounts of change. For you, it's probably nothing. For you, it's like it's a typical Tuesday afternoon or something. So I feel like you're someone who handles change very well, that you're not rigid when it comes to change, that you go with the flow very easily because you're so used to it, because you've gone through so much transformation. You could have a lot of Scorpio energy in your chart, whether it's in your big three, or maybe you just have like a lot of planets there, like a stellium or something, but you could have a lot of Scorpio energy in your chart, because Scorpio is traditionally known for being connected to going through a lot of transformation just naturally in the course of its lifetime. For anyone who is like Scorpio dominant birth chart situations. But you don't have to be. I mean, change is change. Transformation is transformation. But I feel like it's something that, bottom line is, you handle it with ease. And it's like you handle it with flair. You handle it with, what's the word I'm looking for? You handle it very well, is the point. I feel like others are definitely inspired by you and probably wish that they could handle the throes of change easier in their own lives just by watching you lead as an example with that. So I feel like that's how the luckiness kind of pertains in your life. Now, as for our dog card, you guys got enthusiasm. All right. And there's a little message here on the back. I'm going to go ahead and read to you guys. Don't let minor obstacles dampen your enthusiasm for your current project. Your energetic approach and eager attitude will ultimately see you succeed in this venture. Well, that's exciting. So if you guys are in the middle of a project, if you do have something new happening in your life, something big happening, this could be tied to some kind of change that's currently happening in your life. If you are currently dealing with that, I feel like this card is confirming that it's going to be okay, that you're going to overcome it, that it's going to be successful, that basically you've got this, like everything's going to be fine. Also, I feel like you as a person, like just in terms of your energy levels, that you are very enthusiastic. And because you have this enthusiasm, I feel like that really helps fuel you through those times of transformation. And that's probably why you're able to handle it easier than others. Other people may not have your level of enthusiasm. They may have lower levels of energy, and therefore they may struggle with changes that to you are like nothing, is what it comes down to. So yeah, definitely you have a high level of energy and enthusiasm, and I think just as long as you continue to adapt those qualities, like you can conquer any obstacle, you can get through anything, you can take on any challenge and make anything, any project you put your mind to, you can make it successful. All right, so now we're going to get into the charm portion of this reading. So I have this nice little fuzzy, furry white carpet. The white carpet, not the red carpet, but the white carpet for our charms. And I am just going to close my eyes and kind of mix the group around here a little bit with my fingers. And then I'm going to scoop a batch up with my fingers in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see what you guys got. Let me just spread these out here a little bit. Okay. All right, I see a theme going on here that's kind of been happening from each group. Okay, so the first thing I want to address is the rooster. Okay? So when I think of roosters, I think of, cock-a-doodle-doo, obviously, like the dawning of the day, the beginning of the day. And I feel like this is confirmation that whoever's watching this is probably an early riser. You're probably an early bird, a morning person. You're not like me. You're not a night owl, probably. But you're probably someone who gets started on the day very, very early. And even if you're not like super early when it comes to the day itself, you're probably very early when it comes to just like getting started on projects and getting started on day-to-day activities and things that you need to get done and take care of, that you're not really a procrastinator. And I feel like that definitely aligns with that enthusiasm because you have that level of enthusiasm and energy. It's a driving force that helps you be the early bird that gets the worm, is what it comes down to. Now, just because you are the early bird doesn't mean you don't have tiredness that happens. Now, being an early bird, it's definitely a lucky thing to be. It's definitely a lucky thing to have. That means you're probably someone who doesn't experience you snooze, you lose. You're probably someone who doesn't miss out on a lot of opportunities because you're probably a very early adapter, a very early innovator. You respond to invitations probably very quickly. So yeah, you definitely don't miss out. I feel like FOMO is something that just does not exist for you. So from that perspective, you're very much so in the know. You may be a bit of a trend setter, someone who starts the trends and begins the trends because you are such an early adapter. And that's definitely a cool thing to be. So I feel like that's a lucky thing to have ownership of. But like I said, that doesn't mean that you don't get tired. And that's why we have the coffee. The coffee one here, the coffee charm, which is funny because not this same charm, it was a different charm, but it was still coffee related in pile number 1. So I'm definitely seeing this theme that like everyone's tired, but everyone has their caffeine addiction that they depend on. Whether you're brewing coffee at home or you're going to Starbucks, Dutch Brothers, Dunkin', a local coffee shop, whatever it is, I feel like, you may be getting up early and getting things done, but that doesn't mean that you're not tired. So you definitely have your caffeine. And just like I told Pile 1, it's something that we're grateful for, having caffeine to have at our fingertips, because if we didn't have caffeine, we would probably be way more dead tired than we already are. So yeah, definitely that's something to feel lucky that we have, is caffeine. I mean, I know I feel lucky if, I have the ability to run out and get some coffee or something. Not everyone has the ability to do that. Let's see. So what else do we have here? Super Mario. All right, we got Super Mario. So, he is obviously the hero, the main character in Super Mario Brothers. And I feel like, once again, this is a representation of you, that you are the main character. You are the main character in your life. You are the hero. You are the protagonist in the story, is what it comes down to. You are there to save the day. And Mario, he has a lot of energy. Once again, we're going back to that having a lot of energy, having a lot of enthusiasm. I mean, think about it. He's running, he's jumping over like huge ditches where he could fall in and die. He's, leaping over pits of lava. He's, jumping over mushrooms and squashing them and killing turtle things and, throwing fireballs at them and all kinds of stuff, right? He's jumping and running and all. He's constantly going, right? He doesn't quit. And I feel like that's you, is what it comes down to. You are going, just like Mario, and that you are the true star of your own life. And I feel like a lot of people look at you in that Mario kind of light. Like, People don't see you as Luigi. Like, don't get me wrong. No hate to Luigi. I know he basically does the same things that Mario does, but he is the runner-up. He is kind of like the sidekick, right? But it's not called Super Luigi Brothers. It's called Super Mario Brothers. Everyone thinks of Mario, and I feel like in your own life, that's how people see you. You are the Mario in the people's lives. You may be surrounded by a lot of Luigis, but you are the Mario, without a doubt. So, and that's a cool thing, because not everybody can take on that kind of identity. Not everyone can take on that persona. So that right there is a reason to feel lucky, because the spotlight is on you. All right. We also have like a very bizarre, interesting thing going on here, dealing with hearts. I feel like I need to kind of deal with all 3 of these guys together. So first we have a heart that is frowning. He looks unhappy, but he looks like he has like it looks like an explorer's hat to me. Kind of like Indiana Jones or something, like an explorer. So we have him. We have a cute smiling teddy bear, but once again, at the center, he's holding that same little sad heart. And then we have this heart melty emoji thing. So with these 2 specifically, this is interesting. So there's definitely a theme here. Now, considering you guys have 2 with this heart that is frowning, I feel like you guys have a very big heart, that you're very empathetic, but you feel sad at the same time. And this was a similar theme that kind of came through in pile number 1. And I feel like this is something that's very common for people who are very empathetic, because they feel everything. They feel everything, and they have compassion and understanding for others. They have big feels is what it comes down to. And, it's like the people who cry at the ASPCA commercials when they come on, but like multiply that by like 1,000. I feel like that's your heart level, whether it's towards animals or people or just, whatever it is that pulls at your heartstrings, basically. You have a very big heart, but I feel like a lot of the times it can feel sad. It can feel sad because it can feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders a lot of the times. It can feel like this heavy burden. But I feel like you have a couple of clues here in the ways that this frowny heart is being presented to kind of expand on that and to heal that within yourself. So with the explorer, I feel like you have this ability to get out there in the world and just explore. Just explore. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to mean physically explore. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to like hop on a plane and fly somewhere you've never been or take a long road trip or whatever. It could mean those things, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It could be exploring in a very physical sense, but it could be exploring in an emotional sense, in a mental sense, in a verbal sense, in the way you connect with others, in just kind of like reflecting and taking some time for yourself and really exploring your own emotions, maybe doing some journaling and things like that. But I feel like there's definitely an opportunity here for you to do some exploring. And anyone who has the ability to have free reign of movement like that, in whatever way that is, that's a freedom to have, because not everyone gets the freedom and the opportunity to explore the things that they need to heal their hearts. So if you have a way, if you have an opportunity to explore, seize it, because that's a fortunate position to have. So seize that explorer for your heart. Now, as for the teddy bear, teddy bears are cute and cuddly and soft. And, when I think of teddy bears, I think of like just like being a little kid and hugging a teddy bear. And quite literally, I feel like you just may need a big hug. You just may need a big hug. Especially when, once again, you're a big feeler. Big feelings, big emotions come with big tears and sometimes need big hugs. I mean, there's even like scientific evidence out there about this. I forget like how many hugs it is we're supposed to have a day, but it's like we're supposed to have a certain amount of hugs like per day to be emotionally healthy. And not just like, passerby hugs, like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while, pat you on the back kind of hug, but like full on embrace, like really loving and caring type of hug. And I feel like majority of people do not probably get that on a regular basis. But I feel like you have these opportunities where there are people around you who want to give you like big bear hugs, whether it's friends or family members or whoever it is. But I feel like there are people around you who want to give you these big hugs. Take advantage of that. Don't push them away. Don't say no. Embrace the big bear hugs, because I feel like, once again, that's going to help any areas in your heart that may be kind of aching. And as for our melty heart emoji, okay, so I didn't necessarily realize what this may symbolize until I officially picked it up. And I don't know who it is, but I feel like there may be someone in your life who is crushing on you. Because when I look at this little emoji for itself, we've got the heart eyes, and typically heart eyes just by itself is, looking at someone or looking at something through the eyes of love, right? But this emoji is not just looking at you through the eyes of love, but it's like they're melting. They're just, oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. They're so gorgeous. Oh my God. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's someone who is definitely crushing on you bad. Either you know about this already, or if you don't, it's definitely going to be a big surprise. But considering we're asking what makes you lucky, I don't feel like this is like a bad crush. I don't feel like this is like a creepy person crush where it's like, oh, ew, that person likes me. Well, I don't really like them. Like, they give me the Wiggins. Like, I don't feel like it's that kind of thing. I feel like that this is someone that you would want to have a crush on you, that this would be reciprocated, that this would be a mutual thing, which is obviously a lucky thing. Like, if there are two people who can come together at the right time and, it's, oh, I like you, you like me, we're both available for this. Like, honestly, that's a miracle when that happens, because I feel like most of the time it doesn't happen like that. Either one person likes the other and the other doesn't like them back, or it's vice versa, or maybe they both like each other but someone's committed in a relationship, or they're both committed in a relationship and can't work it out. Like, there's usually always some kind of stupid obstacle, but I feel like there is no obstacle, that there's an opportunity here. And because this is a golden opportunity, that's what makes this lucky. All right, and we have the sunflower. All right, now I know that there is a specific spiritual meaning to the sunflower. Hold on. I'm just going to Google that really quick, because I know there's a specific spiritual meaning for that. I'm just going to Google this really quick. No, I'm not trying to go to iHeartRadio. Thank you. Sunflower spiritual meaning, because I know it has a specific one. Oh, it just says enlightenment. Really? I thought it was more than that. It says, some flowers can grow tall and strong even in adverse conditions, making them symbols of longevity and resilience. The sunflower can also be seen as a symbol of enlightenment, spiritual awakening, and personal growth. Its bright yellow petals and radiant energy are thought to bring positivity and joy into people's lives. Well, that makes sense. I don't know why I thought there was more to it than that, but maybe that is it. But it is a very resilient flower. That is true. It is very resilient. It does thrive in adverse conditions, and I feel like that definitely kind of aligns with the death card in all the transformation and all the change that you've been through in your life. You stand tall and you stand proud, and you carry on through it, just like the resilient and beautiful sunflower. So it's like you're a pretty little sunflower. You may look fragile, and you may look just like a pretty little thing to be admired on the surface, but the truth is, your spirit is a force to be reckoned with underneath. So people should be careful when they deal with you. And finally, there is one charm that you guys got that is exactly the same as group one. And I think that's wonderful, because that goes to show that in both groups, there's this level of quality of people who are watching these readings right now. You got the star power here. This is once again the star from Super Mario Brothers. And I mean, you know how it is when Mario got the star power energy. He was unstoppable. He was invincible. He was basically immortal, He could just plow on through anything. He could touch all the bad guys and just keep going. They would just die and he would keep going. So, once again, this is that resilient energy. You guys have that star quality. You know, the show is all about you. The sun is shining down on you. You are this radiant, sparkling, beautiful star just glittering there in the night sky, just shining it all up, basically. So you are invincible. You are unstoppable. You have that energy inside of you. So, you know, keep sparkling and shining that beautiful star energy, because you've got it. All eyes on you, because you, my friend, are the true star. So very, very cool. That is basically your reading on what makes you lucky. Hopefully that helped you guys out and gave you a little bit of encouragement and inspiration to uplift you. If you were feeling unlucky at all, hopefully you feel a little bit luckier now after having watched this reading. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, once again, I invite you to give this video a big thumbs up, because that helps me out right here on the YouTube algorithm. And of course, drop me a comment down below. Don't be shy. Feel free to say hi. I would love to hear from you. Even a simple small emoji goes a long way. And of course, if I resonate with you as a reader, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because that way then you will be informed and up to date every time a new reading goes up. Every time there's a new kind of update of any kind, you will be the first in the know. And finally, if I resonate with you as a reader, I also invite you guys to check out my website, shadowandshine.com, and you can check out a personal reading for yourself. You can check out one of my oracle decks for sale, all the different offerings that are there. So, you know, once again, shadowandshine.com is basically your one-stop shop for everything. And also, I invite you guys to stop on by my Patreon, because Patreon has a whole bunch of different perks and a whole bunch of other things going on there that do not happen on any of my social media, like here or Instagram or TikTok or any of that kind of stuff. It's its whole separate animal, its whole separate community, and there are readings and all kinds of different things going on there too. So I would love to have you guys over on Patreon. It's a great place to be, a great place to hang out, and I would definitely love to share that space there with you guys. So that's pretty much it. That's all the updates. I hope you guys have a very happy St. Patrick's Day, and I am sending you guys lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose the black obsidian palm stone with the golden crescent moon shapes engraved on it, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what makes you lucky. All right. So, as you can tell, this reading is going to be a little bit different. We have this over here, which are basically shoe charms. They're the charms that go on Crocs. I don't even own a pair of Crocs, but the reason why I have this is I just thought these charms would be super helpful and fun, actually, for a charm-related reading. And I thought that would be kind of fun to do for this particular theme of, you know, what makes you lucky. But we do still have a couple of cards here for you guys. We have a TikTok tarot card and a dog wisdom oracle card. So the TikTok tarot card is a major arcana card, because they're basically all only major arcanas. There's nothing else. So let's see what major arcana card you guys got from the TikTok tarot. You guys got Temperance. And the definition of temperance that TikTok tarot has is moderation, temperance, patience, harmony, fusion, good influence, confidence. All very good qualities to have, I would say, right? Yeah, temperance is a very good vibes, good energy kind of card in general. So I would say if somebody has the qualities of temperance, I would say that is a lucky person. So number one, you're probably someone who is very patient. I feel like your attitude and your way of life, just the way that you go about everyday life is very you're very go with the flow, is what it comes down to. You're very go with the flow. You're not someone who gets all wound up and caught up in the details. You're not someone who is driven to the point of insanity, having anxiety over very small things. You're very let go, let God, is what it comes down to. It's like if something isn't going right in your life, in your day, you're just like, well, it's out of my control anyways. There's nothing I can do about it. You don't let it bother you. You are like the duck that lets the water just roll right off your back. You're just not someone who is easily bothered because you are so go with the flow. And because of that, it makes you very patient. You're very balanced, You're not all, completely hot or completely cold. It's like you're just right, It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You're like Baby Bear, basically. It's not, oh, this porridge was too cold and this porridge was too hot. This one was just right. That's you. You are just right. And it's hard to do that. There are so many ways that life can influence us to go to one extreme or the other. So if anyone can find a happy medium and a stable, balanced life, that is definitely praiseworthy. So kudos to you for finding that. But I definitely feel like you guys embody that kind of energy, which is, again, something that's very lucky to have. Especially if you've been through trauma and that kind of thing. I feel like the more trauma someone has been through, the harder it is to achieve that type of mentality. And you guys got the Wonder card from the Dog Wisdom Oracle. And there's a little writing on the back here, so let's see what it says. Take a moment to stop and appreciate the wonders of life that are all around you. Miracles and blessings, great and small, take place around you every day. The world is full of wonder. Make the most of it. And I feel like that describes you guys very well. You find wonder in all things, wonder and awe. You find the magic, I feel like, in the mundane. Even if it's something totally normal and regular, and it could be something most people might just like gloss right over, but you find the sparkle in it. You find, you could find a dirty old rock on the ground, and you'll take it home and you'll wash it and you'll polish it and you'll make it all shiny and sparkly and brand new because you see the potential in it, is what it comes down to. So yeah, you see the best even in the ugly, is what it comes down to. And that's a very cool thing to have. So yeah, I feel like that, once again, that takes a certain way of looking at things, a certain set of life lens to look through that most people probably don't have the ability to do that. So the fact that you can, once again, is the marker of someone that has a very lucky and fortunate disposition. All right, so we have our little white, furry, fuzzy carpet laid out for our charms, and I'm going to go ahead and basically just close my eyes and dig around, and we'll pull a batch of charms for you guys and see what the charms tell us as to what makes you lucky. So we're going to pull some here in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see what you guys got. What does that say? something major. I can't make out what the other word is. Anyways, we'll get into it in a minute. Let's see what little charms you guys got. All right. Okay. So let's see. We got several things going on here. All right. So I'm going to get into the tropical stuff first. All right. So this was the first one that popped up out to me. Now, the second word, as I drop it, don't drop it. Now, the second word here is major. I don't really know what that word is, though. It's like Contigo? I don't know what that is. Contigo? Maybe that's Contigo? I don't know. Something major. Either way, it's like vacation vibes here. It's vacation vibes. We've got the sun. We've got a palm tree. We've got the beach there. We've got like this tropical drink. And we've got this set of lips here. Some kisses. So yeah, that's basically what we have here for this charm. So it's kind of like this tropical vibe. So I feel like there's some kind of connection here to the tropics, that it could be a couple different things. Maybe you're someone who enjoys vacationing in tropical environments. You could be someone who maybe lives near a beach, who lives in a coastal area where there are palm trees and white sandy beaches or whatever. Or maybe there's like some kind of like tropical background like in your family or something to that kind of extent. But there's some kind of connection here to the tropics. And I feel like most people would probably envy that, whatever the connection is. You know, most people dream of, you know, their dream destinations of traveling to some far off island somewhere or something like that. And I feel like for you, it's not a dream. It's something that is very much so a reality. It's something that's already very much so been a part of your life. So, you know, just that alone is a reason to feel lucky. Like, I feel like you've had those opportunities to have like those beachy vacations or those beachy memories, or, you know, be mixing those tropical drinks or whatever. But there's some kind of connection there to the tropics. And to furthermore emphasize that, we have Stitch here from Lilo and Stitch, and, you know, he's like that little Hawaiian alien dude. Now, funny enough, I've actually never seen Lilo and Stitch, but, I mean, I know that, like, it's tropical connected still. I mean, like, look at Stitch. Stitch is literally wearing, like, a little hula skirt and is doing, like, a little hula dance. So I feel like, if anything, this is kind of, like, more of an emphasis on the tropical vibe, that there's definitely a tropics connection here. Now, the cool thing is with Stitch, though, is he is dancing, he is hula-ing, he's having a good time, and I feel like this is you. Like, you're someone, I feel like you're someone who really enjoys a good time, and that kind of, you know, backs up here with this tropical themed charm right here, like with the tropical drinks and everything. You know, if you put tropical drinks together with dancing and hulaing and having a good time, I feel like you're someone who definitely has a good time, whether you're going to someone else's party or you're going out to a club or you're hosting a party, that you're definitely someone who knows how to either like plan a good experience or like make a party better by enhancing the experience everyone is having there. So I definitely feel like in social situations, when you are present, it's like you just light up the room. And it's like, if someone had a social situation, even if it wasn't like a tropical thing or whatever, just like any social situation, that if someone was having like a social gathering and maybe it wasn't going very well, maybe it was kind of dull, maybe it was kind of boring, or it was awkward, or whatever it was, I feel like once you walk into the room and you're able to be a part of it, I feel like you lighten it up. And I feel like a lot of that comes from that temperance energy, because it's a very balanced energy. So it's like, if there was something out of balance with the group dynamic and the energy before you got there, you being there helps balance that out. And it's like, it helps people feel more comfortable. It helps people feel more transparent and authentic and able to be themselves and just like relax a little bit. So if it was like a tense situation, it like brings that intensity down to a more comfortable level where people can be like, okay, you know, like I don't have to feel so uptight. I can feel a little bit more easygoing now. So it's like you bring, not like in a party hardy kind of way, but more like in an easygoing way, that you bring that easygoing kind of like mellow, like, hey, we're just here to hang out and have fun kind of a way. It's almost like, okay, like this is gonna sound weird, but it's like, oh, as I like kick the stand with my foot accidentally, it's like you guys are the weed that someone brings to a party, because, you know, it's like you just mellow everyone out. I know it sounds like a weird example, but it's kind of like that's just like the energy that you bring to it. Now we also have this mermaid here. We have this mermaid. She's not Ariel, but she kind of reminds me of Ariel because she has the red hair, and it's kind of like purple seashells, like purpley blue seashells. Her tail is yellow though, obviously, but we have this little mermaid here. So once again, I'm definitely getting like this. Oh, that's Shadow drinking water. My dog was like, oh, I'm gonna get some water. But yes, water's a key factor here as to what I was going to say. I'm definitely picking up strong tropical vibes. I'm definitely picking up like ocean vibes too, for that matter. So yeah, there's definitely like some kind of like ocean tropical connection. Even if it's not like the tropics itself, it could be that maybe you're someone who's very interested in sea life, in maybe marine biology or something like that. But yeah, there's definitely like a sea connection, without a doubt. I don't feel like you're the kind of person who's going to be living in the middle of the country in like Ohio or Nebraska or something like that. You're someone who's probably living somewhere coastal and like warm coastal, not like, you know, East Coast living in Maine or something coastal, but definitely something that's tropical is what it comes down to. So yeah, but I feel like you have like a free spirit, like a mermaid, is what it comes down to. Very much so, like a free spirit, which once again definitely meshes and matches up with that temperance, free-flowing, easygoing kind of energy. Because it's like when you think of just like being in the water, it's like whether you're wading in it or swimming through it, it's just like it's this free-flowing energy with like the waves and everything. And I feel like that's just you. Once again, it's very go with the flow. I feel like go with the flow is a huge theme here. Okay. So what else do we have? We have a cow. A cute little cow. So we just got out of the sea for a moment. We had this cute little cow. Okay, so cows. Let's think about cows here for a minute. Cows. So I always kind of see cows are very cute. I think they're cute. Cows very much so remind me of like reindeers in a sense, but they're like reindeers without antlers. They have like these big, gorgeous eyes. Obviously they provide milk. But they're cute, you know, cows are cute. And this cow is cute, you know, how can you like not think this cow is cute? I'm kind of curious. I did this for group 2, and I'm just kind of curious. I'm just going to Google this really quick, just because I'm nosy. Let's find out what the spiritual meaning of a cow is. Because I know cows can be a very powerful spiritual symbol, especially like in Middle Eastern cultures, but I mean that's not my culture, so I'm not culturally appropriated to fully understand what the meaning is. But let me look up here. Yeah, Hinduism. Literally here. It was like the first thing here. Let's see. The cow spirit animal represents nurturing qualities such as abundance, gentleness, and our connection to nature. The oldest and most sacred texts of Hinduism, the cow is considered, see, I knew it was like Eastern cultures, Hinduism. The cow is considered a sacred animal and considered the symbol of fertility and abundance of the earth. So yeah, it's definitely kind of like if you were to put Mother Earth into an animal, that's kind of like what the cow represents. The cow is very Mother Earth kind of energy. It's an animal that's connected to the earth. I mean, think about it. They graze through, as I drop the cow, oops, they graze by eating the grass that's on the earth, and they have like a very nurturing motherly vibe, and I think that's why I kind of like recognize them as kind of like reindeers without antlers, and you look at their big doughy eyes and everything. It's like there's something very sweet about them. There's something very innocent about them, and they do kind of like carry this nurturing, motherly, Mother Nature kind of vibe. So I feel like all of those qualities that I just described with the cow are basically qualities that you embody, that you embrace, which someone who is very even temperamented would probably possess. So, once again, that's a beautiful quality to possess, These are beautiful qualities of the cow. I also feel like you're someone who's very grounded. You're someone who's very stable, because the cow also does have that connection specifically to the earth in grazing and ingesting that. So I feel like you're very grounded, which you would kind of have to be very grounded if you have all this temperance energy, which is a highly patient kind of energy. Someone who is not rooted and grounded would not be able to have that kind of energy. And we have Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty's so cute. So now we're kind of getting into the Japanese culture. I think she's Japanese. I was like, is she Japanese or Chinese? I think she's Japanese, though. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, Hello Kitty is super cute. And, she's got her little bow, and she's wearing some overalls here. And she's just, she's looking cute. Like, who doesn't love Hello Kitty? She's adorable. So I feel like you kind of like have this kind of presence physically to people, that you physically have this like very adorable, demure kind of presence is what it comes down to. Not that you go around wearing overalls and putting a bow in your hair, although you could, but I feel like you have this energy that you carry it's very sweet, it's very innocent. It's like there's nothing about you that comes across as sour or sassy or mean-spirited or any of those kinds of things, which would be very hard to imagine anyways, if you've already got that energy of the cow that's very grounded and nurturing, and you've got the energy of temperance, which is very even-tempered and go with the flow. Like, I feel like you're a very reliable and dependable friend and family member and coworker and partner for the people that are around you in your life. And you're just cute as a button, like Hello Kitty here, as you do it. And we have Tiana from The Princess and the Frog. Gotta love Tiana. So this is like your inner Disney princess coming through, basically, in the reading. It's like if you were to identify as any Disney princess, this is the one that you would identify as. And, that's definitely, it goes with this energy because, with the Princess and the Frog, she gives the frog a chance, is what it comes down to. You may kiss a lot of frogs in your life and give frog after frog a chance, but there's a prince out there for you if you haven't found him already. And you might just be surprised that one of those frogs may actually turn into that prince. But I feel like the frogs turn into a prince, though, because of you, because you bring those qualities out in them, because you see them for more than what they are. You see them beyond the frog. You see them for beyond meets the eye, for what's there on the surface. You see them for so much more. And we have Sonic the Hedgehog. So that's kind of an interesting energy to come across in here, because when I think of When I think of Sonic the Hedgehog, I think of very fast energy, quick energy, like a lightning bolt. Like, that's what he's known for in his video game, right? He just like zoom, 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 go, go, go. He's fast. He's not slow ass hedgehog. He's Sonic the Hedgehog. He moves fast, which is interesting to put on the energy of all this kind of stuff, because if you already have a very even-tempered, patient, balanced kind of energy that comes with like that temperance energy and a lot of the other energy that's already come through, it's not to say that you can't be quick on your feet like Sonic, but I feel like that lightning bolt speed is probably not your normal. I feel like Sonic is kind of like your turbo speed is what it comes down to. It's kind of like second gear is the best way I can put it. Like, if you're driving a car, when you're in drive, when you're just like in normal drive, you know, this very temperance, easygoing, go with the flow, balanced energy, that's your drive energy. That's your normal energy. But I feel like when you really got to pick up your energy, or you really have a lot going on, or you really have a lot happening on your plate, or maybe there's a lot of things that are stressing you out and you have certain like obstacles that you have to overcome, or projects or tasks at hand, or maybe there's like a personal issue you have to work out with a person in a relationship or something like that. I feel like when those special, unique opportunities for challenges come along in your life, that's when you have to kick it into second gear. And when you kick it into second gear, you don't fool around. You become Sonic the Hedgehog then. It's not that you lose your patience, or you lose your cool, or you lose any of the balance. I feel like it's still there, but you want to get things done. You don't want to just sit on it. You don't want to procrastinate on it. You're like, okay, we've been going at a decent pace, but I'm going to pick it up right now. Like, usually you're fine with just running like the marathon, you know, pacing yourself kind of mode. But if you're getting to the point in the race where you have to pick it up and you kind of have to like sprint like a couple of yards or something like that, you'll do it. So you do have the energy to do that, is what it comes down to. And I feel like you play the Sonic the Hedgehog role when you need to. That this is not something that comes out on a normal basis, but you use it, you have it in your arsenal when you need to pull it out. So yeah. And finally, you guys got this little daisy, this pretty little daisy that came through. And I feel like that's almost kind of going back to like that cow kind of energy. I don't know if cows eat daisies. They might. I mean, they could be in the grass and maybe they pull one up. I don't know. But I feel like daisies and cows kind of go together on the farm and that kind of thing. But I feel like bottom line is you are a beautiful flower. You are a beautiful flower. You were planted into this world. Sometimes you may not always necessarily want to be in this world. I know I feel that way sometimes because the world can be crazy and chaotic, but you are this beautiful flower that has been planted, and you have sprouted up. You're blossoming, you're blooming, and people see your beauty. People see how gorgeous you are, and they can smell how fragrant you are. And you truly are this treasured and beautiful flower. And I feel like never ever forget that. And always remember, flowers do not chase bees. The bees will come to you. So don't you worry about the bees. The bees will come to you, and they definitely will, because you are this gorgeous and pretty little flower. So yeah, and I feel like that's all very beautiful energy to have. And that's the fun thing about doing a reading like this, finding out exactly what makes you lucky, is it really taps into like who you are as a person and positive aspects of who you are. And those are good things to remember, because the world always gives us like 1,000,001 reasons to tear us down and to tell us what we're not and to tell us where we have to improve and to tell us how we're not good enough and all these other different things beating us up. And we don't need that all the time. We don't need those constant reminders. We need reminders of what we are good at. We need reminders of how we are talented and to be encouraged and to be supported. Because this is not a loving world that does not provide unconditional love and support and encouragement. And anyone who comes here to my channel, I feel like that's one of the top goals that I have in my readings, is to remind people of their worth and their value and their power within, their gifts and their talents, their strengths, and to capitalize on those things, to remember that you are loved and you are supported. And I don't know why I'm going on and on about this right now in this particular group, because I wasn't doing that in any of the others, but maybe this group just needs to hear it more than the others. But regardless, that is my goal. And that's why I wanted to do this reading today about what makes you lucky, because I want to remind you that you are, and that these here are reasons why you are lucky, because not everyone has these qualities. Not everyone has the nurturing Mother Earth energy of the cow. Not everyone is going to give that frog a chance and get a surprise that that's their prince. Not everyone is going to have these beautiful tropical connections or be a beautiful flower or have patience and be even tempered and have a balanced perspective on life. And those are all very helpful things to have. So if you have been feeling unlucky, I hope that this reading reminds you a little bit of some ways in your life that you are lucky, because it's not necessarily about your situations and your circumstances. It starts with who you are as a person, and who you are as a person is beautiful, and it is infectious and will only spread into other areas of your life and make other areas of your life beautiful, and you can grow more daisies in it too. So anyways, enough of that tangent. That's basically the reading that I have for you guys, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it helped you a little bit today and brightened your day a little bit. Once again, please give this video a big thumbs up, because it helps me out a lot here on the YouTube algorithm, just in terms of pushing it out there so more people can see it, and more people can also have the opportunity to find out ways that they are lucky. And drop me a comment down below. Leave me a comment. Let me know how you are. Leave me an emoji. Bottom line is, I would love to hear from you. And also, you guys, if I do resonate with you as a reader, I invite you to go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because by hitting that notification bell, you will be up to date and in the know. You will be informed of every new video, every new reading, every new update, every new everything that comes across here on this channel. You won't miss a beat, is what it comes down to. I'm like, what are my dogs doing? They're being weird. I have to take them potty. Before I get into group 4, they need to go potty. Anyways, yeah. So, and once again, you guys, if I resonate with you as a reader, I invite you to go ahead and check out my website, shadowandshine.com, your one-stop shop for everything. If you're interested in a personal reading, you can find out what all the current offerings are available over there. I also have oracle decks for sale over there, so you can check those out too. And of course, I invite you guys to join me over on Patreon. Patreon is a great place to connect not only with me, but like-hearted people. And, readings are done there daily, weekly, all depending on the tier that you pick. And it's a fun place to be. It's a good place to be. It's a healthy place to be. So I definitely invite you to join me over on Patreon. And that's basically it. So hopefully I will see you guys, if not on my website, over at shadowandshine.com or over on Patreon. Either way, I would be happy to have you at either place. So I am wishing you guys a very happy St. Patrick's Day, and I am sending you guys lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, Pile 4. If you chose the Citrine Tower, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what makes you lucky. So exciting, you guys. Okay, so this is not going to be our usual pick a card reading because, as you can tell, we have all of these sitting here, and you're probably like, what the heck is that? What's going on? So I have a bunch of those shoe charms that you would put on like Crocs. I don't actually own a pair of Crocs, but I thought that these shoe charms were a super cute idea for like a charm reading, basically. Like, they're very unique, they're very different. I like finding things that are unique and different for my readings regardless of what the tool is, and I thought that this would be a fun approach in going about it. So we do still have a couple of cards, but we only have two. We have one from the TikTok Tarot and one from the Dogs of Wisdom. Dogs of Wisdom? Yes, Dog Wisdom Oracle deck. So these are your two cards. We're going to get into these first, and then we're going to just pull some charms and see what we get for you guys. So let's find out what makes you lucky. Starting with the TikTok Tarot, which is only major arcana cards, so that will definitely give us a great deal of information. We have the World. That certainly is positive. I mean, we got this girl here. She's smiling. What is it that she's holding? Oh, she's holding an ice cream cone. At first, I thought that those were like smushed oranges or something, but it's just orange ice cream. Anyways, the World, what they have written here for the World is completion, perfection, recognition, honors, the end result, success, fulfillment, triumph, eternal life. Yes, so the World is very much about having the whole world basically in your hands. It is definitely the completion of a cycle. And I feel like if we're getting this type of card right now in regards to this question, I feel like this is almost kind of like a timing and seasonal type of response from Spirit. That basically it's confirmation that what makes you lucky right now is you have completed something in your life recently. You have reached a certain milestone, a goal, some kind of marker that you were aiming for, that you were going for. You finally have hit that milestone. You've achieved that goal. You've conquered that obstacle. You've done whatever it is that you've been trying to do. And this isn't just like a completion of something where it's like, oh, something is over and now there's a new beginning. It's not just like a normal thing like that. And it's not in a negative way either. It's very much so with the tone of success and achievement and triumph. And it's something to celebrate is what it comes down to. And, those types of things don't happen very often in our lives. They're seasonal for a reason, because we do have those times where we hit the peaks, where I feel like this is definitely a peak. And there are other times where we're in the valley. And there are probably more times where we feel like we're in the valley, or those seasons in the valley feel longer than the seasons on top of the peak. So I feel like this is definitely one of those peak moments in your life where it's time to really just relish in it enjoy it, savor it, all that kind of good stuff. And that right there is obviously and definitely a very good reason to feel lucky. So that's a fantastic start, a great kickoff. And then we have your dog wisdom card, which you got family. That's so cute. We got a bunch of, I think they're golden retrievers. I was like, is it a yellow lab or is it a golden retriever? It's a very light colored golden, I think. It's more furry than like a regular lab. So, but we have the family card. And there is a little expression here on the back that I'm going to go ahead and read to you guys as to what it means. And it says, be grateful for your family. They are your greatest teachers and have shaped the person you are today. We all have our differences, but try to see beyond them and honor where you came from. So I feel like your family is definitely a reason for you to feel lucky, whether that is specifically attached to the cycle that you have recently completed and conquered or not. That doesn't make a difference. It could be two completely separate different things, or they could be connected, but I definitely feel like Spirit is saying here that, yeah, you have a family that is a family to be thankful for. And just like the card says, I mean, it says that we all have our differences, but try to see beyond them. That's not saying in any way, shape, or form that your family is perfect. There very well may be times where you get into arguments and you don't see eye to eye and there are issues. But I feel like at the core of it, at the root of it, there truly is love. There truly is acceptance and understanding, even when you hit those roadblocks, is what it comes down to. I know that there are a lot of people who have dealt with, very toxic, very abusive family backgrounds. So if this is a triggering card for you, then this may not be the reading for you. Maybe check out one of the other groups. But if it's not triggering for you and like deep down, like, yeah, I actually do have it pretty good, then this is probably the right place to be. I myself can definitely resonate with this, like my family life is not perfect. My mom and I, like when we fight. I mean, it is ugly and no one should be there for it. But at the same time, I know there's no one else on the planet who is more ride or die for me than my mom. She has my back. Everyone else in the world could totally turn against me, and she will always be there for me. And she loves me so incredibly much, and I feel the same way for her. So, it's like, I know I could have it much worse than what I have it right now. So I'm very grateful for what I do have. So you may feel similarly dealing with your family. But anyways, let's get into your charms here. I'm just going to move the cards back a little bit. They're still here. They're still hanging out in the background so you can still see them. But let's pull some charms for you guys. So I have this lovely little white fuzzy rug here, and we're going to put our charms down right there, and we'll see what you guys get. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix these up. My eyes are closed, so I can't see them. I know you can't see me closing my eyes, but my eyes are closed. And I'm just going to scoop up a bunch in my fingers and plop them down, and we'll see what you guys got here for your charms on what makes you lucky. All right, and I'm going to pull them up in 3, 2, 1. All right, we've got our group. I feel like I might have grabbed the most for you guys. But let me turn them all over. Oh my gosh, I think every single group got the star charm, which is actually really cool. So let's see what we have. Okay. All right, we got a lot of stuff going on here. So I'm going to address our 2 little heart ones here first. What is that? There's like a little thing hanging off there. Okay, anyways. So the first guy we have is this little heart, and He's kind of got like a frowny face. He's frowning. He's sad. But he's in like this little explorer outfit. He's got this explorer's hat. He looks a little bit like Indiana Jones. So with that being said, I feel like the heart charm here is kind of representing the current status of your heart. And I feel like the status of your heart right now may be on the sad side. You may feel a little sad. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I feel like if anything, considering what we're looking at here in this reading is specifically what makes you lucky. I know having a sad heart doesn't seem like a very favorable or lucky thing, but I'm going to tell you how this is favorable. It's favorable in the sense that if you do have a sad heart or a heavy heart in a sense, I feel like it's because you are an empathetic person. And only someone who is empathetic and very understanding and has a big heart, only someone who is like that is going to feel the weight of the world on their shoulders and is going to be the kind of person to laugh with others and cry with others and feel the emotions of others going on around you. It's a big burden to carry, and it can get pretty heavy duty and intense, and it can be very saddening because there's a lot of sad people and a lot of sad situations in the world. But the lucky thing about that is that you are empathetic. The good news is that means you're not a narcissist, you're not some sociopath or psychopath or anyone who is like basically a billionaire and out of touch with reality. You're in touch with humanity, and humanity is very broken, which is why the heart feels broken a lot of the times, but it just means that you are so in tune. And it's a much braver thing to be in tune and to be there for people than not to be. As for the explorer hat, the exploration aspect of it, I almost kind of feel like that aspect is asking you to explore deeper into the depths of your heart. Not that you're not deep as it is already, because I feel like you definitely go to those depths like all the time. But I feel like those depths kind of need to get even deeper, because if you get deeper, you're going to get beyond that sadness. You're going to get beyond the heartbreak, and you're going to finally make it to that place of hope where there actually is some light. You have to go through that tunnel. And when you're in the middle of the tunnel, it looks pretty dark. It looks like there's nothing there. It kind of reminds me of being in the Eisenhower Tower here in Colorado, or the Eisenhower Tunnel. Tower. Right? Why tower? Why did I even say that? But the Eisenhower Tunnel off of I-70 here in Colorado. It's this huge tunnel, like this really long tunnel, if you're not familiar with it, that goes through the middle of a mountain, basically. And it's long, so when you enter it, it seems like you're in there for like a long time, and you don't see the end of that tunnel because it just goes on and on and on. And now, thankfully, it's not like dark because it is so long. There's obviously lighting in there and everything, but as for natural lighting, you don't actually get to the natural lighting for quite a bit. And when it does come, it's like, oh my gosh, it's bright. Like, put the sunglasses back on, basically. So you gotta get deeper to get to that light, is what it comes down to lighten that heart up. And it's interesting because, I mentioned exploration here, and I feel like you guys have kind of like this travel vibe about you. And the reason why I say that is, number one, we have these two trucks here, these two pickup trucks. They look like monster trucks, basically, that you would, see with, they kind of like, run all over each other and stuff like that. But, we have vehicles here is the point. We have modes of transportation. So we have two modes of transportation, and you guys also have Snoopy here. And it's not just Snoopy, but it's flying Snoopy. He's got his goggles, he's got his cape flying in the wind behind him. So, he's ready to get onto his little plane and take off and fly. So I feel like between Snoopy and the 2 cars and the explorer's hat here on the heart, I feel like there is a travel spirit inside of you. So either you're someone who has already done quite a bit of traveling during your lifetime, which, number one right there, that is something to be thankful for, because not everyone gets the opportunity to do that. Whether it's seeing the country or seeing the world or whatever it is, there are a lot of people who don't get that opportunity. There are tons of people who never leave, like, their state county that they were born and raised in, basically. Some people stay in the same town their entire lives for whatever reason. But I feel like you're someone who probably has already had the chance to do a lot of traveling. And if you haven't, I feel like that's a signal that this traveling is coming. And I mean, like, quite literal, not just the theoretical, more not tangible type of traveling, like I was saying before, like exploring your heart. I feel like this is like quite literal travel. It's, travel by car. It is travel by plane. It could be travel by other modes of transportation too, like boat or, I don't know, train, and whatever. But I feel like if that hasn't been happening for you yet in your life, it's going to be happening. And I feel like when these opportunities come your way, when you are traveling, don't turn them down. Seize the moment, seize those opportunities, because I feel like those are going to be ways where you are going to be able to open up your heart more, and you are going to be able to not only travel physically, but you'll be able to travel mentally and emotionally in more depth, as I had already mentioned. And what that's going to really do, and what that's going to help you do, is kind of get out of this position. Because here we have that same little heart. Now he's not frowning in this picture. We can't even see his mouth in this picture, actually, but he's sitting in a cooler. He's sitting in an ice box. So I feel like a lot of the times what you guys may wind up doing when you are feeling too much and when you do feel the heaviness and the burdens of the world, you may try to numb yourself off. You may try to take your heart and your emotions and stuff them in an ice box and be just like, I'm not going to feel this. No, this is too much. And there are many different ways people numb their hearts and their emotions. It could be by binge watching something on TV. It could be through shopping. It could be through alcohol. There's so many different ways people do it. And, I'm not saying by any means you're some kind of addict or something like that. That's not what that means. But I do feel like it does mean it's time to take your heart out of the icebox. It's time to, let it feel. Let it feel. Feeling is the only way we really heal and release things and grow and move on. Also, in terms of travel, we have Sonic the Hedgehog here. He's pretty quick. He's quick on his feet. He's vroom, 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 go, go, go. So with Sonic the Hedgehog being here, I feel like once again, these travel opportunities coming your way. These travel opportunities, they could come into your life quickly. And when they do come in quickly, you could be on your way quickly to wherever it is that you go. It's not like you're going to be sitting around just thinking about it, talking about it, whatever, that kind of a thing. Definitely it's more reference to, I feel like, travel because, again, Sonic the Hedgehog is fast. He's fast in the wind, kind of like Snoopy here with that cape blowing back in the wind, quick like the wind, fast like the wind. Now, one of the places that you may wind up traveling to, if you haven't been there already, could be Hawaii, because we have Lilo here from Lilo and Stitch, and she's got her little hula skirt on. She's having some fun. Now, if it's not Hawaii, it could be somewhere tropical in general, because it's definitely giving me tropical kind of vibes. So I feel like there's an opportunity to go somewhere where it's going to be tropical. And, those are the kind of vacations most people only dream about. They think about it, they talk about it, maybe not necessarily always get the chance to live it. But I feel like there is going to be an opportunity here for you guys to live that. So that's definitely very exciting. Let's see. Let me look at this guy here. So this one, it looks like a little... I don't know what this is. I gotta figure out what this is before I can tell you guys what it is. Okay, it looks kind of like Hello Kitty, right? But it looks kind of like a naughty Hello Kitty. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the character. So if you know the character and I'm getting this all wrong, my apologies. I'm not familiar with the character, so I'm just going off of my intuition as to what I feel like it is interpreted as. But it's like a little Hello Kitty. There's like a little pink skull thing here on the top of its like hat or head or whatever that is. It's kind of wearing like these little Joker kind of a Joker kind of collar here, and just honestly, she looks badass is what it comes down to. She looks like she's someone who doesn't take anyone's sass or crap. She looks like a tough cookie, and I feel like if anything, this represents you guys, that you guys are kind of like a badass. And you guys don't take anyone's shit. You don't take no nonsense. Part of it could be from the fact that you put that heart into an icebox at times, and that may make you kind of like I'm not going to deal with this bullshit kind of a thing. But doesn't necessarily have to be. I feel like there are ways that being this badass has definitely served you. I feel like, if this world card here has been accurate in terms of you completing something and you achieving something, I feel like one of the ways that you have been motivated to achieve and do the things that you've needed to do has been out of this badass energy, where maybe in the past, if you had been more demure, or you had been more meek about the situation, certain opportunities may have just like overlooked you, passed you by. But I don't think you're the kind of person that does that. You know how to play hardball. I don't feel like that's your regular go-to because, like I said, you are very empathetic and you do have a very deep heart. But I feel like your exterior sometimes may come across this way. You may be a little prickly on the outside, but it's like you're one big love bug of a golden retriever on the inside, in a sense. And because just look at her. Like, if you were to take away like the little black helmet and everything, like, she would be so cute and adorable. And that's you on the inside. You're so cute and adorable. You just may have a tough exterior, kind of like being like a Scorpio rising or something like that. So anyways, yeah, but I feel like you know how to play hardball when you need to. You know how to deal with the tough stuff when you need to. But you still have that empathetic big heart at the end of the day. And, this definitely shows a lot of who you are. So we have Sunshine Bear from the Care Bears. And like I said, you guys can go ahead and put up the tough exterior all you want. At the end of the day, like, I feel like you are just a ray of sunshine is what it comes down to. You are a ball of sunshine just bouncing into people's lives. So yeah, Sunshine Bear, whatever their name is. I think it's Sunshine Bear. But, that's someone who has a sunny disposition. That's someone who sees things with the glass half full. That's someone who is cheerful, who is perky. This isn't like gloomy, stormy bear or something. This is a happy bear. And I feel like at the end of the day, you do have this person inside of you. And you're able to have such a wide range of emotions, going from kind of like this bitchy exterior to a more cute and fun type of personality. And I feel like you have that array of emotions because once again, your heart has just like that kind of levels of depth to it and everything. And I feel like the people who know you really, really well, the people that you let in, because I feel like it's hard for you to let just anybody in, that there's definitely like a red velvet rope up there is what it comes down to. Like if your life was a club in Hollywood, and you are like the bouncer and you are also the people inside all at the same time, and you are scanning people, and there are a lot of people that you turn away at that red velvet rope, and the people that you turn away kind of get this person right here, and you're like, no entry. I'm protective of my heart, I'm protective of myself, I want only quality good people in my life. And so you only allow a handful to come into your life. But when they do come in, when they pass that test, when they pass through that red velvet rope, they get to meet Funshine Bear is the thing. They get to hang out with this one, which is a pretty fun perk if you ask me. We also have the Mickey Mouse Pumpkin. So whenever I see the Mickey Mouse Pumpkin, I automatically think of Halloween time at Disneyland. So this could be an indication that either you're going to be going to like Disneyland or Disney World or one of the Disney parks like around Halloween, like coming up this fall. We already have talked a lot about travel in this group, and this could be another place that you wind up traveling to this year, which, I mean, I can tell you right there, that's lucky. If anything, I'm envious, because when I lived in LA, I had an annual pass at Disneyland, and I mean, that was like my weekend activity. It's like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? Going to Disneyland, of course, duh. And now I'm in Colorado, and I can't go there on the weekend anymore. So I'm very envious of those who can and still do that. So that's why I'm saying that's a reason to be lucky. The other thing that I pick up with this too is just like Halloween and Disney vibes in general. So Halloween could be like your favorite holiday. It could be your favorite time of year. Fall in general could be your favorite time of year. And you could also just be a big Disney fan, period. Which, again, I understand. You could be a total Disney fanatic, Disney girly. And like I said, I get it. So yeah, and I think those are all great things to be. And there's nothing wrong with being a Disney adult. It's what us millennials do. Disney adults with our avocado toast and our pauses. Anyways, but yeah, so it's a fun thing to be. So that's definitely something to be lucky. It's something to enjoy. And finally, the last one that you guys got, which I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that every single group got this one, which I think is so cool, because it's confirmation to me that everyone here is a rock star. Every single person, regardless of what group they picked, is a total rock star. And the last one that you got is the Shining Star from Super Mario Brothers. And I mean, this star means business. Like when Mario gets the star during the game, he is unstoppable. He is invincible. He is able to just like fly right on past all the bad guys, and the bad guys just like fall to their deaths basically on the side. And Mario can just like move at speed demon pace and get it done, is what it comes down to. And this star is a reminder that you are just that. You are unstoppable. You are invincible. You can conquer all. And I feel like that world card that came out initially here confirms that, because you've already been doing that. But yeah, you got star power. You got star quality here, my friend. The light is shining on you. The spotlight is on you because you are the star. You are the star of the show. You are the star of the movie, of the story of your life. Eyes are on you. So keep sparkling, keep shining, keep glowing, keep radiating, because that's what stars do. And that star is you. So I think that is the perfect way to basically round up this reading here. I hope that this message resonated and made sense for you and that you enjoyed it. I know it's a little bit different than what I normally do, but before I wrap this up, you guys, I would just ask that you go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up because that helps me out a lot here on the YouTube algorithm. And drop me a comment down below. Feel free to say hi. Don't be shy, even if it's just with a simple small emoji. And if I resonated with you as a reader, feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell. By doing that, you will be up to date and in the know every time there is a new reading, a new update, a new anything of any kind. You will be the first in the know. And if I resonate with you as a reader, I also invite you to go ahead and check out my website, shadowandshine.com. That is basically your one-stop shop for everything. So whether you are interested in a personal reading or picking up a brand new oracle deck for yourself, any of that kind of stuff, even just simply learning a little bit more about me and who I am, head on over to shadowandshine.com, and that's a great place to go check out and see and do all those wonderful things. And also, you guys, once again, my Patreon is open and available as well. So feel free to head on over to Patreon too and check out the different tier levels. I would love to have you over there to join, whether it's joining for weekly card pulls, daily card pulls, whatever the case may be. There's a Discord server. There's all kinds of fun stuff going on there. So feel free to join us over on Patreon. It's going to be a fun time. Anyways, yeah, that's basically it. That is everything. So I want to wish you guys a very happy, a very blessed and fortunate St. Patrick's Day. I'm sending you guys lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling.